Good morning from Poland. We are here in Warsaw at the People's Palace in the center of the city, and we're here with our little Cinquecento, which is also Polish. And we are going to be going to the Auto Nostalgia Show today. This is what all the noise in the background's been about. They're unloading these supercars into the building, although strangely enough I'm more interested in things like this. Fantastic old Polish bus that's been converted into a tour bus. They do these tours of the city here with 126, the 125 taxis, and these rather cute old Polish transporters. Right, that's enough taking photos and video. Let's go and actually see some real cars. Well, we've got pride of place parking right at the front door. They know quality when they see it. So we're going to head inside now and maybe catch up with a few of my friends in Warsaw. So this is Auto Nostalgia in Warsaw. So what are we going to look for today? Beautifully restored Fiat 126. Absolutely gorgeous. Has all the little period accessories. The headlights did have a tendency to let water in, so you got these little little plastic covers that went around the edges that stopped the water getting into the boot when you were driving along. It's got the roof rack, it's got the period luggage, as if everyone's heading off to the Black Sea on holiday. Yes, the Polish used to actually drive these things to the Black Sea. Beautiful little interior, love the way it's trimmed. Has all the accessories. Everything you need for the perfect Polish holiday. Got your little radio. This is my friend Kaja, and we're going to be having a look around the show together, and she's going to be explaining caravans.
I'll try my best.
Typical Polish caravan?
Yep. Typical 80s, 90s.
So you were saying they've got a little bit more expensive since COVID?
Yeah, after COVID hit, it went from like 5,000 zlotys for a good one to almost 50, sometimes even 20. So it's pretty crazy.
This is like the pride of the Polish nation. The FSO wars, the little hatchback that never was, and they ran out of money before they could have put it into production. So actually my first car was one of these. It was in 1987 with the 1300cc engine. It's an old Cinquecento engine, so it sort of dates from the 50s, which is weird because the body shell actually dates from a car that was made in the 60s, which had quite advanced engineering in the engine. It used the Lamprelli, and I probably pronounced that really badly, twin cam 2-litre in the Italian version, whereas this one came with the running gear from the car from the 50s, the Fiat 1500, and you got a 1300 and a 1500 engine in it. So mechanically very simplistic, which was good for me, as I did tend to bang into a lot of things when I bought it, and yeah, it made the world of a difference when it came to getting it fixed. Cheap parts and easy to work on. Then we got the Polonaise, the famous Giugiaro designed update on the 125 car. Strangely enough, this is not one of the cars that he is that... well, you know when you get all these books about Giugiaro and his wonderful car designs? This is one that doesn't show up very much. Early cars were a hatchback that didn't have folding rear seats, which kind of made very little sense, but then again, that's communism. Rather eclectic collection over in this corner. So we've got vintage, we've got a Fiat 131 or 132, some sort of streamliner from the 1930s, just passing the Honda, and an American imported SL, which is rather gorgeous. Only in Poland would you get a Rolls-Royce Silver Cloud, by the side of Artberg, and a Fiat 850. Oh! The Mirafiori is for sale? 64,900. About £13,000. I'm doing some really quick calculations in my head, so if I'm out, I'm out. These things are really fabulous. It's a Wartburg, Eastern European car. This one's from 1979. I actually thought it was older. They have a two-stroke engine, which is very heavily based on the units you used to get in Saabs. And my dad had one in 1968, which looked pretty much identical to this one, except for his was white. But yeah, same chrome bumpers. They have, unusually, a completely flat floor. Yeah, very cramped little show, but that's a really nice car. Polonaise got put to an awful lot of uses. This is one that's been converted to a van, but you also got ambulances, pickup trucks. They were really a case of, you know, you just used what you got. Right, welcome to the Polish Madness stand. So, we have a slightly worked over Fiat 126. This is definitely something else. Different. Speaking of different, this is a Polonaise. This is Polonaise like you've never seen before. So they did actually do a coupe Polonaise at one point, and it was a little bit gawky. It actually still had wind down rear windows on it. This one has gone full out race car, and I'd have to say it has done a lot for the looks of it. You gotta love the passion that they have for these little cars. Absolutely amazing. Oh, Sean would be going absolutely buck mad now about those wheels, but I actually really like them. They're Alfa Romeo wheels. But it's like really gorgeous. That is so, so nice. Oh, it's got the period little vents on the back just to keep the moisture out of the engine, because obviously it rains here a lot more than it does in Italy. Then on the other side we've got a little DAF, the Variomatic gearbox. I don't know how many of you know this, but if you follow Sean a lot, he's the king of Variomatics. He's got the oldest Variomatic Volvo 340 in the UK. 125, very early one. A lot of these cars were actually brought in the early days from Italy and actually put together as a kit. You can tell the early cars because they have chrome grills, whereas the later cars, like the one I had a plastic grill. Slightly different interiors on them as well. I love how they have all the period bits and pieces to go with it. Okay, so this is replica and classic. So what they have here is a large selection of cars that were replicas. There are replicas of famous Polish race and rally cars. So Fiat 124 Abarth, very popular in rallying in the 1960s and 70s. Usually they came with a hardtop, but obviously it's a recreation, so it's not. This is trying to emulate what the Stratos Polonaise looked like. So I believe there was a crash Stratos that was bought by the Polish government, and they put the running gear into a Polonaise, and they tried to go rallying with it. There's loads of stuff on the internet, you can look it up. It's a very Jalopnik, or Jason from Jalopnik type thing, of the Utopian. But you can sort of see what I was saying about the rear windows. It's got these weird little quarter lights on the rear windows. That's because in the production cars, this window actually still wound down. Obviously, the Stratus, the real car, would have been rear-engined. 125, so this is a recreation of the cars that would have actually been entered by Polski Fiat in the Monte Carlo rally in the early 70s. They're all beautifully restored. Fiat 128, but a coupe rather than anything else. They were sold here under the Polski Fiat brand for a while, so you did actually get these in Poland. Quite rare. This little 127 is one of the early cars. It is a hatchback rather than a saloon. But this is actually a Fiat as opposed to a Fiat. And is the only car on the stand that's an actual rally car. It was used in the Catalonia rally. Obviously got the Abarth badges on it now. Love the lights. Looks absolutely fantastic. This is the Zombel people. So what they do is they do a charity rally once a year. This year it's Portugal. 2019 was Ireland actually, and 2012 was Scotland. It's open to anybody who has a communist era car, and they have a selection of the various different things which they are doing this year. So the mainstay of the Polish classic car industry after the 126 is 125. In Poland, because there was really only two cars available, they're actually just known as Little Fiat and Big Fiat. They didn't really have any other names. And this is the Big Fiat, the 125. Anyway, Lada Niva 4-door with 4 different doors from probably 4 different cars. But, you know. Volga, I think. I think we're on a Volga. And towing the little Polish Caravan, which is in the same colour. Oh, isn't that really sweet? These things are absolutely minuscule. You can actually get a version that you could tow with a Fiat 126, which only had 20 odd horsepower. Then we've got the Trabants, slightly later Volkswagen era favourite, because it's got the badge in the centre, I think. And that one's definitely a communist era favourite. It's got the old badging. It's absolutely immaculate. Okay, maybe I was wrong. Maybe it's the early... I can't remember. If anybody remembers where the badges were on the early favourites, please let me know. Because what happened was when Volkswagen took them over, they moved them. And I was convinced on the early cars that they were off to one side. But on the later cars, they moved them into the centre after Volkswagen took over. This is a Wartburg Night, or well, it was in the UK. Goodness knows what it was here. But 2-stroke. That is very hobnut. Poland to Albania. Cut down Morgan? Or is it a Morgan? No, it's not a Morgan. It's a Leopard. Anybody know what a Leopard is? Well, just put it in the comments. Over here, we have the rather unfortunately named Tarpans. There was a Tarpan you got, which also was the model name called the Honker. So, it's a very nice stand, and they look very kind of like some sort of weird Tonka toys on it. But there is a possibility if you own one of these, you could explain to someone, yes, my car is a Tarpan Honker. These used, especially this one, because I can see that's definitely a diesel. These used Perkins diesels. I think they were 3-cylinder. They're literally the worst cars I think that were ever made. Which is possibly the reason why they're here, and you should be celebrated. Because you need to celebrate terribleness. Yeah. That looks like a lot of misery. Yeah. That's a very nice stand. There's something you don't see every day. In something you definitely don't see every day. So that's your Fiat Chroma V6. I assume that's an Alpha engine? 2.5? Oh, if only Matteo was here, he would be able to help me out. That is quite the interior. Yeah. Full leather interior, over cushions. Oh, that's gorgeous. That is just beautiful. We have a beautiful red Lancia 8.32, I think those are. They are famous for having the Ferrari engine. There's 2 at the show, believe it or not, both in stunning condition. The other one is for sale for a vast amount of money, but this one's just on display. And it's a slightly more classic colour combination of the burgundy paintwork, the coachwork, and you also get the beautiful tan leather interior with the wood. The other car has a dark coloured interior. Also note, first ever active aerodynamics on a car. Pop-up spoiler, disappears into the boot at lower speeds, pops out when you're at higher speeds. So Kaja and her dad, who are here with me, were noting that they actually have recycled the seats from one of these Alpha GTs into Kaja's Renault Twingo. And now they're getting a fully guided tour of the Alpha. I'm not quite sure the people who are displaying it are aware that it's just because of its cannibalized nature that they're having an interest in it. That's nice. Kind of in a slightly Middle Eastern dictator type of way, but it is still nice. I do like. Maserati Quattroporte, which is a very sexy way of saying four-door. A Capo wagon. That's nice. With the 3-litre V6. Yes, I know, you can all read that sign too. And of course, there is the Ferrari Thema. You always have to have at least one at a show. This one's quite unusual because it has a dark coloured paint scheme with a dark coloured interior. Most of them are sort of like burgundy and they have a tan interior. But that one's a little bit different. Obviously, it's got the pop-up spoiler, so you need that to let all the police know when you're speeding. I know these are a bit posh, and I don't really do posh, but the Montreal is just achingly pretty for an Alfa Romeo. I mean, this is a car company that, basically ended up making the Mito, which was a Fiat Punto in drag. But go back 30, 40 years, and you get things like this. Beside it is a 155 with the V6 Busso engine. This is the sort of stuff you would see on Matteo's channel over on Roadster Life, where he would get very, very excited about this. Oh, this has got all the accessories. So you've got your wheel arch extensions, you've got your little connected wiper blade thing, so when you're doing 1,000,000 miles an hour, the wipers don't fall off. They've removed the fabric roof and fitted a panel in there, and you've got the big engine at the back, which probably has a Barth stamped all over it. Let's see if we can get low enough. There you go. A Barth. That is very cool. It is for sale, but price, you have to ask. And you know what they say, if you have to ask the price, you can't afford it. Beautiful Panhard. Sorry, my terrible Northern Irish pronunciation of Panhard.
O tym czytałem. Na żywo jeszcze nie widziałem tego Panharda.
Absolutely fantastic interior on it. Do like that. Very glitzy. Lovely. And the bonnet's up. We are now with the Citroen people. Now there is a Saxo, sporty Saxo down the end, but we actually have two Xantia Activas. This one is really unusual in my book because we never got it in the UK. That one is a turbo diesel, and it is for sale. Like a lot of the cars here today, a lot of people have come along today to try and basically get as many people as possible to see what they've been selling. 45,000 zloty is about £8,500, £9,000. It's a lot of money, but it is a very tidy car, and it's a very unusual spec in it being a turbo diesel with the Activa suspension. Just in case you're not sure what the Activa suspension is, that's a quick rundown there of what it does. So when it goes around corners, it uses lots and lots and lots of hydraulics to actually make the car turn level. So there was, somebody will probably correct me on this, but I think it's actually one of the cars that does the Moose test the fastest. So they also have the British spec one, which is the petrol with the turbo engine. And then on top of that, they've got a little GTS over there. Little VTS, which is all for sale for around £7,000-ish. Cute little thing. Early Renault. You know, still the Renaults because they have that kind of slopey bonnet thing. So we're starting off with this Renault 5. Now these are all for sale. Now, this is 1984, 1300, 42,000 kilometers, £7,000. I don't know. Do you think it's worth it? It's really nice condition. Now, weirdly, this is not a well, we said Dacia when they actually made these cars, but apparently now it's Dacia. But this is actually around 12. So, again, for sale. We'll have a quick look just to see what that would cost us. About £6,000. Again, very rough guesstimate there. Very nice. The 309 GTI. Do like those. Not the 16 valve, which strangely enough we never got in the UK and is like the holy grail of all things sporty French. But what we've come here to see is this Citroen BX. So it's a 1986 with the 1400cc engine, and it's got 139,000 kilometers. It is 18,000 zloty, so that's about £3,600. Let's see if we get a better look at that. We're going to come around maybe and sort of like, you know, see that, but that is nice. That's a very early car. Unfortunately, the wheel trims need changed. If maybe it doesn't even have wheel trims on the original car, but it does have the ginger indicators, which is the one to go for. But yeah, let's go have a look at that. Ford Sierra, interesting, but not as interesting as a base model BX. So the thing that I wanted to show you with this is that the early cars do not have any form of indicator stocks. Everything on the car, lights, flash your headlights, do your indicating, it's all done with those pods. It doesn't have headrests, but they are from a different car because they're a different color. But, you know, I suppose that just, you know, stops you from getting a broken neck. Yeah, there we go. So, no indicator stocks, just have these little rocker switches. Also, the strange thing about that is that there's no connection to the steering column, so it means that when you use your indicators, they don't self-cancel. So you have to be in the habit of being able to remember to actually, you know, cancelling the indicators. On the other hand, though, it is a French car, so probably the self-cancelling wouldn't work by the time you've got, like, you know, 40 years into the future. I just walked past this father and son, and they've just bought a toy car in a box, quite one of the big posh ones, and it was just really sweet to see. I mean, both of them were equally excited that they owned whatever it was. I couldn't see what it was, but they were both very excited about it. That was really kind of quite nice. Anyway, we have another poverty spec BX. Now, this one is a little bit cheaper. It's about £3,000, and it's the diesel. A lot more miles on it, 200,000 kilometers basically. But oh my god, it's resplendent in its povertiness. No rear wiper, no model designation, it's just literally a BX with a 1.9 diesel engine. This is the sort of stuff Sean gets really excited about. It's a shame he's not here. Quite a few of these Japanese funeral cars on display. There's a Nissan President here, plus we've got this Lincoln Town Car, which has been converted to Japanese funeral spec. Quite the statement, really. Quite a lot of them actually have the back doors open, so you can see inside. Don't worry, no one shot, it's okay. Beautifully decorated inside. Not that when you're in there you'd ever know. That one is a Nissan President, which is one of the more luxurious ends of the market up there. Interesting that most of there's two of them here at the show, and they have the back open of them, so probably, unless you were close friends with the deceased, probably wouldn't get to see the inside of that very much. That's not creepy at all. Yeah, the taxi theme is strong this year. Japanese taxi. Mazda 929. Probably not Polish market. It's for sale at the minute. I think it's 49,000 zloty. Rather sweet little car. Pop-up headlights are always cool. Usual sort of very nice interior on these things. Very futuristic. And it's 1986. So, definitely one for the weird car Twitter. S-Class, very unusually, the S-Class has a fabric interior. Very nicely trimmed. Do like that. Sunroof. Yeah, it's a nice car. I thought this was really quite cool. It's a converted camper, and it's the color schemes, it's the way that they've designed it. I just think that's really, really nice. So you got your little sink, you got your toilet in there, you got your fridge, mix into a bed. Just thought that was a really nicely designed little camper. Oh, it's one of those Gulf countries, the hugely jacked off ones. Sorry, jacked up, not jacked off. I have no idea. Sean would be very into that, I imagine. Actually, I'd have to say, you know what, early Porsches are quite nice. And that one is very, very pretty. Very, very pretty. Gorgeous color, bright wheels, nice interior. Yep, I'm sold. Very nice Volkswagen Beetle. Nicely spec'd out. They do like to add the little accessories to them. They're all very cool. So this is a Tornado by Oldsmobile. As I recall, I think these are front-wheel drive. Looks okay, but sort of when you get up close, it's got a few little issues with the paint. A little bit of bubbling, but it certainly makes a statement. Quite an interesting sort of spec on what we've got over here. So we've got an Ampy car, which are simultaneously registered as a boat and a car, which is why they have to carry a flag on the back, because you have to have your port of registry. And you've got your little waterproof horn on the front, and you've got running lights. So yeah, these are very cool. This is beautifully restored. Hopefully you never need that. And FSM, I think. They have FSO. They have it as an FSO Serena. The Morris Minor of the Polish car world. Beside something which is literally anything but the Morris Minor of the Polish car world. Show's nearly over, but they still like my Cinquecento, so let's get that going for it. I'm very taken by the Citroen C6, which I bought one of these for the museum in Nashville, and they're absolutely fantastic. Yeah, that's very, very nice. Always love the rear windows on these. They kind of curve in sort of like 6 different directions. Okay, let's check the Cinquecento over. Has anyone left a note? I was talking to a couple of guys inside who know me through Twitter, and they were actually saying that someone had come up and asked them could they buy the car when they were looking at it. They thought it was theirs. more of the parking outside the show can just be as interesting as some of the things inside the show. Mitsubishi Eclipse. Well, that was Auto Nostalgia 2023. I hope you enjoyed some of that. I am squinting into the sun so I can get a nice shot of these very nice Opels. And there's a 2CV coffee cart behind. But maybe let's go in the general direction of the Cinquecento. First time I've been here in about 10 years. The last time I was here, it was mainly FSOs and Polski Fiat and some of the Russian brands, whereas this time around, a little bit more diverse. Anyway, thank you for watching. And we're going to go and jump into the Cinquecento now and drive it downtown. I think a deserved coffee and my feet up would probably help right now. It was a long day, but really, really worth it. Enjoyed it. Caught up with some people that I knew from Twitter. It was really nice to meet Al. Very nice to meet the local Panda people, which was Sajuska and Kaja. And they did a wonderful job of translating for me. I managed to get 2 stickers, which was the high point of my day. And see you next time, wherever that may be and whenever that may be.